What would you do if you made $630,000 per day? Research done by Libby King, the personal finance editor for Business Insider, found that casinos in Vegas pull in $630,000 a day per casino. That totals out to about $230 million annually per casino. Now, when you go to a casino, most games have set odds. So, for example, a slot machine, it has a certain payout. Okay? Now, one of the games at a casino that has changing odds every time you play is blackjack. Now, Blackjack B is a website dedicated to educating people about the game as well as helping them improve when they play it. Blackjack B states that the house advantage in blackjack is 8%. This means that on any given hand at a casino, the casino has an 8% chance higher to win than the player. Now, Blackjack B also states that with the use of the right blackjack basic strategy, you will have the opportunity to turn the house advantage in blackjack from 7 to 8% to just 0.5%. This means that your odds of winning a hand are just about as much as the casino has. Now, this presentation will take you through the basic rules of blackjack as well as give you a basic strategy to help your play. The rules of blackjack are simple. You get dealt 2 cards face up, and the dealer gets dealt a card face up and a card face down. Now, the object of the game is to get as close to 21 as you can. Now, there's a variety of things you can do when your hand is dealt. The first thing you can do is hit. So let's say you have a 17 and you aren't happy that the dealer is showing a 10. Okay, you hit and you get a 3. Now, you got a 20. That's pretty close to 21, so you should probably stay. Okay? Another thing to remember is that a dealer must hit until they have at least a 17. That means if they have 12, 13, 14, 15, or 16, they have to take another card. Okay? Now, once a dealer hits 17, then they can't hit anymore. They have to stay. So 17, 18, 19, 20, or 21, the dealer can't take any more cards. So let's say you hit and your total number is over 21. That means that you lose that hand, and instantly your hand gets scooped up and your money gets taken away. This is where the casino has an advantage, is because if every person at the player busts, then the casino doesn't even have to play and they take people's money. Now, there are other rules to consider when playing blackjack. One of the most common rules is if you get a blackjack. So it's an ace and a 10 or a face card, which totals 21 as soon as your 2 cards are dealt. Now, normally a casino will pay you 1.5 times your bet. So you bet $5, casino will pay you $7.50, scoop your hand, you're done. All right, another thing you can do is called splitting. So let's say you get dealt 2 of the same cards. You can split them, and then you treat each one of those cards as a separate hand. So this first ace, you would take a card, and then you can either hit or stay on it. Then it would go to the next ace, and you could either take a card, so you could hit or stay on it. Another rule that is common for betting in blackjack is called doubling down. And this means that you will double your bet, and you will take 1 card from the top of the deck, and that's what you get. So this is really common when you have like an 8 or a 10 or a 9 or an 11. And this way, as soon as you take that card, hopefully it's a 10. And that way, it'll put you at either an 18, 19, 20, or a 21. So the basic strategy to improve your game in blackjack is to make 2 assumptions. And these 2 assumptions are that the dealer's face down card is a 10, and that the next card the dealer takes will also be a 10. So this guy, he's sitting there with a 14, and the dealer's showing a jack. Now, if he uses one of these assumptions to assume that the face down card is a 10, then the dealer would have a 20. Okay, this 14 obviously isn't going to be the 20, so he would hit. So he hits. Luckily, he gets a 7. His 21, if this card's a 10 face down, he's going to beat the dealer 21 to 20. Now, another thing to consider is making a dealer bust. Okay, so this guy, he's got a 14 again, and this time the dealer's showing a 6. Now, if he makes the assumption that this is a face down 10, then the dealer's got a 16. Okay, the average player will just think, oh, I've got a 14, the dealer's got a 16, he's closer, he will beat me. However, you have to remember that if a dealer's on a 16, he has to take another card until he's at least at a 17. Okay, so the guy with the 14 elects to stay, The dealer flips. Oh, look, there it is. Now, the dealer has a 16. He has to take another card. Okay? If you assume that the next card is a 10, like it is, then the dealer will bust and have a 26. That person will win with the 14 that they thought would lose because the dealer has a 16, just because they use this basic strategy. Now, when you're at a casino, obviously, every game has an element of luck involved. However, if you know the rules of the game and you use this basic strategy, then you will be able to improve your chances of winning by 7 to 7.5% every time you sit down at a blackjack table.